First final of today, 17 laps, 22-kilometre race distance is ahead. Of course, Conor Clancy certainly had a good run, but let's go through that full lineup for you. James Anagnostianos, who took a win in a second place today, starts it on pole position. William Marshall, who took his first win of the weekend as well, starts alongside. Enea Pizzuto, the pole sitter, goes from row 2, and we'll have Angelina Simmons starting alongside. Casper Reipold and Conor Clancy go from row 3. They round out the top 6. Row 4 sees Jan Mikulescu and Kaisa Ziza, both of them having a much better day today after a pretty tough day yesterday. Toby Gale, good positions for him. 9th and a 10th today puts him on the 5th row of the grid. He'll have Leonardo Peruzzi starting alongside. Mateusz Witwer, yesterday's final winner, starts this one on the 6th row of the grid. We'll have Flavio Carri alongside. Vanessa Schilkinator and Nilis Malik will round out row number 7. Row number 8 sees Marcel Capella and Ella Hakkinen, who did get caught out in an incident earlier on, but like you say, still sits there very strong in the championship standings. Amadou Adriansen and Axel Nocom, again, much better days for them today. They start this one on the 9th row of the grid. Zavrier Dudkowski and Emilia Wyszomirska round out the top 20 on row 10. Row 11 sees Dinia Islamov and Egon Prodrotti, both drivers having a up and down day today. Some suffering from retirements in the first, some from the second. They'll have Oscar Gallen and Victoria Farfus starting on row 12. Victoria Farfus again struggling out there in the races. Sara Matsui and Karine Kaur round out row 13. They'll have Claire Leosodu and Sanjana Dandu on row 14. Zachariah Dole and Christian Ebras will round out the top 30. They go from the row 15. They'll have Konstantin Paps and Isaac Say on row 16. Vida Yuland and Sujana Dandu will round out row number 17, with Michaela Hart on her own on the final row of the grid on the 18th spot. It's on the 35th spot, I should say, right at the back of the field. We'll keep an eye on this one as we are moments away. The whistle blows and the engines get fired up. Hopefully everyone gets going as we do for this. And no, not everyone does get going. Enea Pizzuto, it fails to start, but now I think it does start. So, well, that's good to see. And the last drivers at the back as well. Let's quickly run through the starting lineup once more. Anagnostianos and Marshall on row 1 from Enea Pizzuto and Angelina Simmons. Casper Reipold and Conor Clancy go from Jan Mikulescu and Kaisa Ziza. Toby Gale and Leonardo Peruzzi go from row 5. They'll have Matis Matvir and Flavio Carrier on row 6. Vanessa Schilkinator and Nilis Malik from Marcel Capella and Ella Hakkinen. Amadou Adriansen from Axel Nocom from Zavrier Dudkowski and Emilia Wyszomirska. Then it's Dinia Islamov from Egon Prodrotti, from Oscar Gallen and Victoria Farfus. Sara Matsui from Karine Kaur and Claire Leosodu. Sanjana Dandu and Zachariah Dole with Christian Ebras alongside on row 15. Then it's Konstantin Paps and Isaac Say with Vida Yuland and Sujana Dandu, with Michaela Hart rounding out the 35 kart field. And great to see. We have got such a busy group of juniors here. There, a look at race control. Head of race control, Joanna Falcao, joined by Sara Blanco, keeping an eye on all of the racers out there. 34 cameras at their disposal, plus 20 circuit cameras from the actual track itself. And they're in constant communication with our race director, Martin Bean, and of course Pasquale Lupoli, who's out there as the clerk of the course. Mechanics return to their mechanics stand to help guide their drivers through this 17-lap final. And right now, like I say, with the points so close here, Marshall only 50 points behind. And of course, if he takes the win on this one and Anagnostianos amazingly doesn't score any points, knock on wood, that doesn't happen, but if he doesn't score any points, there would be only 7 points between them going into the next round in Dubai. There's a look at the virtual championship there on your screen. Just confirmation of that one between those two. Reipold third, Gale, Clancy and Hakkinen round out the next top 6 out there. Simmons and Witwer round out 7th and 8th. Drivers into the tram lines and the lights go green for the first final of the day. And it's a great start for Anagnostianos and the drivers behind as well. Marshall and Pizzuto get through as the field snake their way through turns 2 and 3. It looks good there. A little bit tight there in towards turn 4. Hold your breath as we go into the braking zone of turn 5. One driver gets caught out on those exit curbs, drives straight off the circuit. I'm trying to see the cart number there. It looked like potentially the 45 that went off the track there, and that will have been Christian Ebras, unfortunately, who didn't have the best start to that race. Drivers then making their way down the back straight now, and it's quite an advantage already that we're seeing from Anagnostiadis. He is breaking away quite nicely at the front, and I think at the moment it's Reipold who's got him there in second place, and it is Casper Reipold up into P2 and is hunting down Anagnostiadis for the race lead. We go on board with Casper Reipold in second place, and you can see there that is not a big gap between the two of them. 0.2 of a second as they cross the line. A little wide there on the exit for Reipold, though. You can see there it understeered off the circuit, and again those tyres will have been super heated up. The track temperature today will be incredibly hot out there, so drivers do need to be careful they do not overheat these tyres. It is so easily done out there, but down the back straight again they go. Doesn't look like we're going to get a lunge this time, but you can see there how much he's closed in under braking. Absolutely superb. You got the live feed on the right-hand side of your screen, the live on-board feed on the left-hand side of your screen, as well as, again, look at them going absolutely line astern in towards turn 2. It does mean that William Marshall has closed in as well, so Reipold's now going to go defensive here for second place. Marshall might be able to get the switch back here on the exit. The answer to that is no, but now look at the gap that's opened up between the two of them, and that's purely one defensive line into one corner has caused that gap to open up. That's what we mean. Racing like this is so fragile. You need to be so careful. I'm seeing drivers on my CCTV cameras up in the commentary box walking away from their karts, and I can confirm it's Sujana Dandu. Unfortunately, has retired from this race as Marshall goes down the inside of Reipold and moves up into second place, as now these two need to focus on working together. They need to close the gap up to James Anagnostiadis in front. In the juniors, it is possible to break away on your own. Unlike the minis, where the slipstream is so powerful, and so is the bump draft, that it's near impossible to break away by yourself. In the juniors and seniors, because you've got so much power available to you, it is possible. There is a driver out of the car and not going any further. That looks to me like that could be Clelia Sodu out of the race, and it is Clelia Sodu, who was joining us for the first time this weekend, filling in one of the gaps. Unfortunately, retires in her last race of the weekend at turn number 5. That is a big shame. But the race going on here, and well, Anagnostiadis has got the company once again of William Marshall and Reipold as he goes defensive now in towards turn number 2. Marshall and Reipold on that rear bumper, as well as Clancy, who's closed in. Here we go, a big move down the inside for Conor Clancy, not able to do so, and right on the scene, quick as you like, is Enea Pizzuto. Back right there with Clancy in P5, trying to close right in. You can see the closing distance there for Enea Pizzuto. The speed difference when you make a mistake into a corner is astronomical at this Franciacorta circuit. It is such a fast track, and some say the fastest on the calendar, but we'll have to see the data from that one. Here's a replay at turn number 5. Is this how Clelia Sodu ended out of the race? Down the inside, yeah, contact with another, unsure who she was racing with at that point. The live feed still on your screen on the right-hand side, as we see the replay still on the left-hand side of your screen. Anagnostiadis still leads the way then. Marshall in second, as unfortunately Isaac Say is going to receive a warning flag at the moment in this race. That will come with an in-race 5-second time penalty, which is very unfortunate. Matej Witwer now with the fastest lap of the race. Now, where is he? He's up into P10 at the moment. He was the winner from the final yesterday, was Matej Witwer. Can he close in again today? Down the inside, big send for Enea Pizzuto, gets back past Casper Reipold now, who's down to P5 after battling away at the front. Here we go. When you see someone go wider through turn 1, it usually means they're going to line something up into 2. Not this time, though. Marshall stays behind Anagnostiadis as they dive down in towards turn number 5. Remember, Anagnostiadis yesterday didn't take the final win, was not able to be the first, not back-to-back, but first double final winner of the season so far. Again, it's been 5 different final winners, and William Marshall could very well be the 6th different final winner of this season so far. Live on board again on the left-hand side of your screen with Casper Reipold, who is still there at the moment in P5, right on that rear bumper of Enea Pizzuto through turn number 14. Back onto the start-finish straight they go. And, well, all these drivers are under pressure here now because Conor Clancy has got up into second place now. Clancy pushing his way forward in the junior category here. And looking at the results here, Conor Clancy is another driver who's yet to win a final this season. So again, he could also be the 6th different final winner of the season so far. We just don't know. That shows how competitive the junior category is in 2024. But Anagnostianis at the moment is controlling it. But right now, Conor Clancy wants to take control of it as he dives down the inside. They go wheel to wheel for the race lead, but it's Clancy who now leads the way over the start-finish line on lap number 9. And now it's Pizzuto back into 3rd place as Anagnostianis, just like yesterday in the final, started to drop backwards. Remember, Anagnostianis, I believe, finished P6 yesterday in his final, after he was leading for the first part of it, was looking strong, and then slowly, ever so slowly, started to drop back. Pizzuto looked to the inside there, was not able to get down the inside, stays behind, but Clancy now could have an opportunity here to break away. If Anagnostianis' pace isn't as quick as he'd like, but it's quick here though, not close enough for the lunge. Stays behind, and the top 5 still stay line astern. Kees Aziza is in 6th place, all on his own, just in the background there. If this group of 5 really kicks off, he'll be next in line to join these top 5. Peruzzi is there in 7th place. Witwer is now up into 8th place, and again, still could be in a chance of closing up to this group here. And, well, there you go. Setting the fastest lap of the race is closing in on Peruzzi and Kees Aziza. Race control there with a message. Number 15 under investigation for the start, so we'll keep an eye on that one. The number 15 is a little further down in the order at the moment, but again, it's very easily done in the category. Nilis Malik, the driver, under investigation as it's kicking off here once again. Well, look at this. Clancy's broken away now as Enea Pizzuto gets back up into 2nd place now. Anagnostianis is on the back foot as straight down the inside comes William Marshall. Marshall again is looking to get back up to the front here. He was one of the favourites.
Copy post 3 and post 8 will be a report for 15-15 again.
Well, there we go. 15-15 under investigation for another incident out there. Nilis Malik might be really on the back foot here with multiple post-race penalties. Well, eyes on this one. We're on lap 11 of 7 right now, and down in towards turn 14. Another change again. Big send for Reipold. Down the inside and gets back past. What a lunge that was. And amazing stuff there past William Marshall. It just shows the closing distance you can gain down that 180-meter back straight up the hill. Well, it is Clancy at the moment from Enea Pizzuto in 2nd place. Anagnostianis still there in 3rd, is looking at a podium today. Didn't get to stand on the podium yesterday, but right now is still in a very strong spot. Enea Pizzuto, though, is a driver that has impressed today. Pole in qualifying, like we mentioned, 2nd in his first heat, 6th in his 2nd heat. And remember, he was going into this with a bag full of nerves. We spoke to him after qualifying, and he was saying, you know, I've got, you know, butterflies in my stomach. I am nervous about starting on pole. I've never done it before. And, well, he's taken it like a duck to water, and he's looking for his best result of the season so far. And Pizzuto as well could also be our sixth different final winner. There's two, first and second place right now have yet to stand right there at the top spot of a podium in this series. Only Alec Nostiadis behind them in third place has stood on that top spot of the podium this season. But right now, he is on the back foot here, and he has not got the pace. He has used those tyres over the course of the morning in qualifying and the qualifying heats, and he just hasn't got the traction left to put those tyres to work right now. Clancy, Pizzuto, and Ignatiadis are your top three. Marshall, Reipold, Aziza, the top six. Let's have a look a little further down while we keep an eye on the top three runners here. The biggest mover out there at the moment is Isaac Say, who's in 22nd place, who's up 10 positions. But remember, Isaac Say has got a warning flag, so unfortunately he will drop down positions, because again, that comes with a 5-second time penalty. The other biggest mover out there is Victoria Farfus, the Brazilian for the Discover Your Drive, as off the track goes the number 33 of Zachariah Dole. He is out of this race, and that is a huge disappointment for the young driver. Zachariah Dole from the United Arab Emirates is out of this race. He cannot get it started. Yellow flags out in the sector as the race leaders now head towards that yellow flag area now. There'll be no overtaking permitted into this corner. They will have to wait until they pass a green flag, which they will see at the next Marshall point, which they've gone past now, and they're back to full racing conditions. Victoria Farfus, though, there you can see by the graphic the confirmation of her achievements in this one. A gain of 14 places. Didn't have the best result in qualifying Heat 1. Heat 2, though, P9 after qualifying fourth. Was still a good qualifying, the same as yesterday. But again, it's been a really tough weekend for Victoria Farfus in the qualifying heats phase, but she has certainly delivered in these finals, and she's up there into the top 10. Action here, though, down the inside. It's a close one for the lead. Pizzuto manages to find a way through, and now Clancy goes down into P3, and Ignatiadis is back into second place. Marshall has closed back in as well. We've got 4 carts here at the front, but it is Enna Pizzuto right now, the pole sitter from qualifying this morning, who was nervous about starting on pole, is now leading this final on lap 16 of 17. The last thing they're going to see right now is the last lap board before the checkered flag, and going in towards turn 14, it is Pizzuto who leads the way comfortably. Action in the background there. Marshall trying to go down the inside of Clancy. It's not close enough for it. And we go on to this final lap with Pizzuto leading by nearly 0.3 of a second. Looking for a 6th different final winner in the junior category. The Italian.
Darren, you have a car coming your way, number 12, 1-2 into the pit lane.
Well, car 12 coming into the pit lane, that's Toby Gale, who has unfortunately another retirement from this race. But there, Pizzuto, like we were saying, it's going to be the 6th different final winner, pending, of course, turn 14. But the 6th different final winner, and his first win of the season after starting on pole in his first ever pole position. It's for Italy. It's Enna Pizzuto across the line. He wins the final here in the OKN Junior category and becomes the 6th different final winner of the championship. Absolutely fantastic. And Ignatiadis, he finishes in second place. He increases his point lead now to just under 70 points ahead of William Marshall. Of course, Ignatiadis may only have that one final win, but his consistency of finishing within the top 10 has meant he is the current championship leader. But for Enna Pizzuto, that is an absolutely superb weekend and a superb day of racing. Enna Pizzuto will enter back into Parc Fermé. Of course, all of these results are provisional, but a 6th different final winner this season in the form of Enna Pizzuto, James Anagnostianis finishing in second place, and Connor Clancy finishing in P3. Well, what can you say? William Marshall, despite his best effort starting on the front row of the grid, finishes just outside the top 3 in P4. Reibold finishes in P5 ahead of Case Aziza. Vitesse Vitfa, yesterday's final winner, can only best a P7 but had gained 4 places in that race. Angelina Simmons finishes P8 ahead of Leonard Peruzzi, and Victoria Farfus rounding out the top 10 ahead of Flavio Carrier, Axel Nocom, Dinia Islamov, Jan Michalesco, then it's Egon Prodrotti, Vishamirska from Matsui, Hakkinen from Dudkovsky, Capella from Adriansen, Say from Shilkanate, then it's Gallen, Paps, Malik, Ebras, Sanjana Dandu,